Welcome back to another episode of Ask Steve About Real Estate. This is Steven Padernacht, and I'm joined by
Vera Kovali.
What's up, Vera?
Oh, another day at KW Connect Studio in the Bronx,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
There you go.
Now, I want to start off today by, and Dimitri, you have to join me in this. Okay? We're going to sing Vera happy birthday.
Oh, so sweet,
Okay.
guys.
So, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vera. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And on this occasion, I would like to thank you, everyone who reached out to me, wished me a happy birthday. It was an amazing weekend. I want to thank you to my friends from New Jersey that came all the way here. I want to thank as well my family, Jennifer, Steven's wife, who actually gave me a nice present, which I really appreciate. Jennifer, say hello from here from KW Connect Studio Bronx. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, everyone. And I very much appreciate everyone who reached out and wished me a happy birthday. It was very nice to and very warming to receive those beautiful words, present, flower. I'm not even saying there are so many to say, and I very much appreciate everyone, guys.
And the good news is now you're 21, so now you can have a drink.
Exactly. That's very true. I love that, actually.
Okay, so let's get down to business. Okay.
Yes, sir. We are here for business.
Now, just remember, your camera's in front. There it is.
Okay.
There it
Yeah,
is.
Steven wants to make sure I get the right angle.
Yes, because you were looking down here. That's not what we want to. The
Gotcha.
fans are over here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So tell me, what is it that we are discussing today on Ask Steve About Real Estate?
Yeah, today we're going to go about a little more in depth, which I'm sure that you are very well familiar and well-rounded with veterans. There are many buyers. We recently closed on one of our buyers who was also a veteran. What would you say that are the benefits when it comes to qualification with the pre-approval, like what the interest rates they are in terms for specific for the military, and any information that will be beneficial for our buyers that are possibly watching, where they're looking for information out there.
Okay, so we're talking VA loans.
Correct.
Okay, so VA loans are an amazing product. Because first and foremost, a big shout out to all of our veterans out there.
Absolutely.
I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for all veterans. They literally are risking their lives so we could live better lives and for our freedoms. So first of all, anybody that is a veteran out there, thank you very much for your service.
We appreciate your service, guys.
So what the government does is they say, hey, because you have done this amazing thing for our country, we want to give you some benefits, right?
Right.
So VA loans, some key characteristics of the VA loan. First and foremost, there is up to 100% financing, meaning you don't have any sort of down payment. On a traditional loan, conventional loan, you got to put down, 3.5% for first-time buyers, 5%, 10%, 15%. With VA loans, you do not have to do that. Now, in New York, you still do need to put something down on contract,
right?
But speak to your specific loan officer to find out if you can get that money that you put down. Let's say you put $5,000 or $10,000. Speak to your specific lender to find out if you can get that back when you close.
Most of the time you usually do, right?
I think so. But again, I'm not a lender, so I don't like to give advice on that per se. I would say, hey, I have a lender. If somebody has a question about it, then I would connect them to. But I'm pretty sure you get that back. So anyway, up to 100% financing, very important. Secondly, PMI. So for those of you who don't know what PMI is, it's called private mortgage insurance. Any loan that is funded with less than 80% loan to value, meaning if you put down less than 20%, the bank is going to charge you PMI. PMI is to insure the mortgage, right? So the bank say, hey, look, you have less, we don't want to go and lend you 90% of the money and then you default and we have no insurance policy. It's like insurance for the bank.
Yeah.
So that way,
assurance that you still get some income for their own benefit.
Exactly.
In case something gets defaulted.
So, but with a VA loan, you don't have to pay PMI. So that's
amazing.
And PMI ranges anywhere from $200 to $400 depending on the asset type. meaning depending on the property
Or
type or depending on where it is. So, the PMI benefit, you could save $200 to $400 a month right there on your payments.
That's very beneficial. For
Yeah.
the buyer.
And then the other aspect of the VA loan, 100% financing, PMI, and then the other aspect of the VA loan. What was the other thing that we were talking about? Well, those are the two main things.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is pretty much the same as a regular mortgage. You're going to have to go in the contract. You're going to want to do an inspection. You're going to want to do an appraisal.
An appraisal usually comes with that because, the bank still has to make sure that, the
Of
property
course.
appraises.
Yes.
So it's not an exception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, for anybody out there that is a veteran, please look into the VA loans. They're extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
And it could save you thousands of dollars. And honestly, like, you're getting into a property without putting any down payment. Now, yes, your mortgage rate is going to be higher, meaning that because you're not putting down any money.
Even with the VA loan?
Well, hold on one second. I just want to get
Okay.
this thought out, right?
Okay.
So not the interest rate, just the cost of the mortgage.
Okay.
So because you're borrowing more money.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought a property for, let's just say, $500,000 and you put down 20%, you're only borrowing $400. With the VA loan, you're borrowing the whole $500, so your mortgage rate per month is going to be more expensive. Your interest rate, however, that's the third thing.
Okay.
I knew I had it. The
It was a
interest
thing.
rate is a lot. I don't want to say it's a lot lower, but it is more comparable because it is backed, I believe, by Fannie and Freddie, and what they say is that they're not going to charge the same rates that every other buyer would pay. And please, somebody fact check me. My lender friends, just fact check me on these things. I want to make sure that I'm accurate with this, right? So no PMI, no down payment, and also a very attractive interest rate.
Rates. Do you know by chance like how much it would be right now for a VA loan, like the interest rates as of now?
Well, I know the average interest rates right now are around 6.3, 6.4%. And that was when I checked this morning.
Right.
So I would imagine that those interest rates are probably 0.25% lower. Maybe they're in the high fives.
Somewhere mid-5, somewhere there.
And I do think it actually also is very impactful to have a good credit score. So again,
absolutely, yeah.
You're asking me this question and I'm just giving you the information as a realtor. And what I always advise everybody is speak to a lender. I don't know everything about lending. I don't know everything about real estate, but I do know that if I had somebody pose this question to me, the first thing I would do is I would go to my resources and I would ask them, or I would put the buyer on the phone with an expert who can explain these things.
Right,
and I think that's something that everybody should do, right? Like, I'm not an expert at lending. I'm not an expert at law. I'm not an expert when it comes to inspections, but I do have people that I do go to when I have those type of questions.
And not just that, guys, just so you know, Steven is not the expert in the field when it comes to loans, inspections, but I will let you know, because working with him already for a while, I know exactly that he would look at the report. He would look at the just a generic idea of what a VA loan it is, and he will give you the bullet points of what exactly entails. So he has the starting point, I would say, just to start a conversation with a buyer or a seller, you would know exactly what it entails. Now, the breakdown of it, obviously, you'll have to address to an expert, professional experts such as our lenders that will usually, sponsor us most of the time. And also, since we are on this page, Steven, you may want to say about the tickets regarding the Westchester Club with, what is it?
Oh, the Westchester Soccer Club. Yes. Okay.
You may want to mention that and invite everyone, because I know we changed it from today to the 14th.
Yes. So we have partnered with the Westchester Soccer Club, and it's two separate partnerships. The first partnership is we will be hosting a table at every single event, and we're giving away a $100 gift card to Home Depot. Yes. So come see us at all home games. And the second is that myself and Claudio from Kai Visions are going to be hosting the official podcast for Westchester Soccer Club. It's called
amazing.
It's called Inside Westchester Soccer, and we'll be interviewing players, coaches, managers, team people who work in the staff, and just giving people a peek behind the curtains of what goes on in a professional soccer team, and offering that and kind of giving fans an idea of like how this club is building. They're only in their second year, how they're building, from a small club into one of the larger ones in their division.
That's amazing. Yeah, as you heard, guys, you are welcome. Reach out to Steven. Steven has the tickets. We'll get you in for free.
Okay, so that's all we got.
That's all for today. Yes. Thank you so much, Steven. Thank you, Dimitri. I appreciate the happy birthday wishes, and I guess we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.